Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we're talking about the 3 new Everyday Luxuries fragrances coming to Bath & Body Works as a part of Fall 2/Fall 3. Now, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We do all things Bath & Body Works on my channel, especially the body care, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get right on into the 3 new fragrances, what they're a dupe for, pricing, everything that you'll want to know. All right, you guys, I'm gonna sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. But before that, just a couple of housekeeping items. First off, this video is an informative video. These products are not available at my store. I haven't been able to get in and smell them, but I do like making these more news or informative type videos as somebody who likes the budget, who maybe has coupons and wants to know if anything's coming before they use it on what's already out on the floor. Second thing, the creators that I pulled and sourced this information as well as the pictures from, there are 2. First, Life Inside the Page at blogspot.com. I have talked about her in several videos, but Tess is a wonderful Bath & Body Works blogger and basically a one-stop shop for anything Bath & Body Works. So news, spoilers, what's coming, repackaged, sales information. Highly recommend checking out her blog. I will have the page that I use for this video linked in the description box as always. Now, the second creator I want to shout out is Sense Galore on Instagram. Sense Galore on Instagram, I feel like she always gets access or at least photos of the products well in advance of them actually being released. Great source for news, really getting an idea of what's coming. Really enjoy her page. I will have her Instagram handle in the description box down below, and because I will be using her photos in this video, on each of the photos at the top you will have her kind of Instagram handle, so a screenshot of her Instagram page including that handle. So I wanted to give credit where credit is due before we get on into this video, and without further ado, we can finally start. So if you're unfamiliar with the Everyday Luxuries collection or really line at Bath & Body Works, what it is basically Bath & Body Works making high-end perfumes and high-end fragrances much more accessible and affordable. They're also fleshing them out a little bit more because although the Bath & Body Works line did, I feel like originally start off as just fine fragrance mist, in the later editions of the Everyday Luxuries collection or line, we've seen the products in body creams and body wash, fine fragrance mist, full-size perfumes, the mini perfumes. It really gives you a lot more variety when it comes to making that high-end fragrance, not only at a more accessible price point, but more accessible from having it in different product types. So that's just a little bit about the Everyday Luxuries line if you weren't familiar. But the 3 fragrances that we have to get into are Inner Angel, Mediterranean Mirage, and Free as Flower. So we have quite a bit of information on these. Luckily, thanks to Sense Galore, I do have access to the scent notes. Now, what these are actually a dupe for, that's always a bit up in the air because I feel like everybody smells these fragrances, and honestly, Bath & Body Works fragrance, and really fragrance as a whole, a little bit differently person to person. Now, Bath & Body Works has never come out and confirmed what the Everyday Luxuries collection have ever been a dupe for. It's always just been widely accepted online, or somebody thinks it's one thing, somebody thinks it's another. So basically in this video, I'm going to walk you through the scent notes, and then I'm going to say what people are saying this is similar to, what my research is saying this might be a dupe of, but nothing will really ever be confirmed unless Bath & Body Works would come out and say it, which has not happened in the past. So the first fragrance we want to start off with is Inner Angel. Now, Inner Angel comes in this really pretty rust color, and when you hear the scent notes, I feel like you'll find this to be very fitting. If you've bought all of the Everyday Luxuries collection so far and you line them up by color, I don't believe we've had anything in a true rust color. I know we've had the reds of O Cherries, sort of the pink family. I think maybe we had a burgundy in a very early edition, but I feel like Inner Angel is the first true rust color, which I feel like looks really nice. And once you hear the scent notes, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense why it's rust. The notes of Inner Angel are spiced apple cognac, tonka bean, and warm praline. So I feel like this one is going to be such a warm, great fragrance for fall. And what a lot of people are saying this is a dupe of is Kilian Angel's Share. Now, Kilian Angel's Share is at Sephora, and for a 1.7 ounce bottle retails for $275. So they are making that fragrance much more accessible. I feel like this is going to be super exciting for a lot of consumers. Now, the Kilian Angel's Share fragrance has keynotes of cognac, tonka bean, and oak wood, and the fragrance description on Sephora says this fragrance features cognac essence, oak absolute, cinnamon essence, and tonka bean absolute with distinct notes of sandalwood, praline, and vanilla, creating a delicious finish. So let's walk through the scent notes and compare them each to each other. So starting off with the Inner Angel, the first fragrance we have is that Spice Apple Cognac. Comparing it to the Killian's Angel Share, we not only have cognac, but we also have the cinnamon essence. So I feel like that will be able to achieve that Spice Apple Cognac. Next, we have Tonka Bean. That is one of the keynotes in the Killian's Angel Share as well. And lastly, we have Warm Praline, and it says the Killian's Angel Share has distinct notes of sandalwood, praline, and vanilla. I'm assuming that Warm Praline will really tie into the Killian's Angels, the praline and vanilla. So I feel like this is a really good dupe so far, just from a notes to notes perspective. If you do have this fragrance and you do have the access to Inner Angel in your store in a couple of maybe days, maybe weeks, because Scents Galore did already find it, I feel like it is coming rather quickly. But if you do have the Killian's Angel Share fragrance, I would love to hear in the comments down below if you think this is going to be something similar, or when you do try it, if you think it is an exact dupe. Now, I'm excited for this fragrance for a couple of different reasons. While we do currently have apple fragrances at Bath & Body Works to an extent, obviously we have Champagne Apples and Honey, which is a true apple fragrance. We also have Sweater Weather, which isn't necessarily an apple forward fragrance, but it does have apple in it. I think Inner Angel is going to be fulfilling that need for what a lot of people really wanted in Leaves. Now, if you remember Leaves, it's currently available right now in the home fragrance, but I'm speaking about Leaves in the body care. It was basically apple cider in a body care bottle. Like, it literally just smelled like spiced apple cider or wassail, if you're familiar with that kind of variation of apple cider. It was so delicious, quintessential for fall, and it was a really strong fragrance too. The lasting power on that one was insane. So I feel like for a lot of us who might be missing Leaves, I feel like Inner Angel would be a great one to check out. Also, considering if it is a dupe of that Killian's Angel Share, that one being $275, to now you would be able to get the entire set, even if it wasn't on sale, for less than that. I feel like this is going to be a great deal, and a lot of people are going to be really excited about this one, especially as it is such a fall-centered fragrance. Now, the next fragrance we have is Mediterranean Mirage, and this one's coming in a vibrant teal, sort of similar to the teal that we saw in the Bath & Body Works Disney Jasmine collection. It's a really rich teal, which I feel like when I hear Mediterranean Mirage, I'm definitely thinking of the Mediterranean waters, that real rich kind of tealy blue. So the packaging wise, I think this one makes a lot of sense. Now, notes on this one are a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but I feel like they're just a little bit more mundane than what we were seeing in that Inner Angel. The notes on Mediterranean Mirage include fresh bergamot, radiant amber, and smooth musks. So really nothing in here that's extremely standing out to me. I feel like bergamot, amber, and honestly musk are in a lot of our everyday fragrances. But as far as what people are saying this is a dupe for, this one has a lot of speculation because there's not really a one-for-one on anything thus far. What a lot of people like to do and how they connect the everyday luxuries to the high-end fragrance kind of pair, they really look at the name of the product, because usually the name gives a hint as to what it could be. So a lot of people, they saw Mediterranean Mirage. I wonder if this is something to do with the Mediterranean or Italy, or something that a higher end fragrance would have in the name. And what a lot of people and myself were able to come up with is that this could be a dupe for the Tom Ford Neroli Portofino. Now, before you say, Skylar, there's no neroli in this fragrance, I'm going to read you the fragrance notes, and then obviously we'll be able to see later down the line if this is correct. But for Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, the keynotes in this are Tasmanian, I'm definitely butchering that, I think it's Tunisian Neroli, Italian bergamot, and Sicilian lemon. 1 ounce of this retails for $195 US. Fragrance description on this, it says Neroli Portofino conjures cool breezes, sparkling water, and lush foliage through the crisp citrus oils, floral notes, and amber undertones. Splashy yet substantive, this perfume is a vibrant reinvention of a classic eau de cologne. It's Tom Ford's homage to the Italian Riviera. So really right there, if you have kind of heard that fragrance description and you remember the notes, you do see that there is sort of an extent to the overlap. So let's break it down. So the Mediterranean Mirage, the first note in that is the fresh bergamot. That matches the Tom Ford Neroli Portofino keynote of Italian bergamot. I think those are a pretty good match. Next, we have the Mediterranean Mirage, the radiant amber. In the fragrance description, it says that it has amber undertones. So maybe that's where they're pulling that radiant amber from. Now, the last note we have in the Mediterranean Mirage is the smooth musk. Now, there isn't necessarily a musk fragrance that's mentioned in neither the keynotes or the fragrance description, but I feel like because it says crisp citrus oils, floral notes, splashy yet substantive, cool breezes. Maybe that could have sort of a musky undertone that they're talking about in the Mediterranean Mirage. Again, this one is probably the most speculative out of the three, but I do think it'll be interesting to get in stores, smell this one. My Bath & Body Works is conveniently right next door to a Sephora, so I'm always able to pop in between the two stores and kind of compare them back to back, but really excited for this one, and I'm interested to see how this will play in the fall lineup. To me, this necessarily isn't a fall winter fragrance. Usually bergamot to me means spring, or anything like Mediterranean citrusy is very much that late spring, April, May, and honestly even summer. So I am very interested to see really what the plan with this one is, what it smells like, and if it is really a dupe for the Tom Ford Neroli Portofino. Now, the last fragrance we have is Free as Flower, and this is more of your kind of dark chartreuse. It really would be like Guilty as Fig if you remember that one, and if you just take like the color wheel and put it all the way down to more of this dark chartreuse color, I do feel because it has Free as a Flower in the name that a green is fitting, and I feel like a lot of people, this one might be the most popular, but I'll let you guys decide after reading the fragrance notes. Now, this one has notes of wild orange flower, bright lavender, and a creamy vetiver. If you're not familiar with vetiver, it's a complex, earthy, and woody fragrance, often noted as having either a smoky, sweet, or almost like a leathery undertone to it. Vetiver is not something that I usually have in a lot of my fragrances. There's something a little bit off-putting when things have a smoky, almost like campfire-ish undertone. Not that the vetiver in this fragrance necessarily will fit that description, but I've noticed when things have a leathery, smoky kind of vibe, they just smell very off on me. So I'll have to see how this one goes with my body chemistry, but a lot of people are comparing this one to the YSL Libre, which for 1.0 ounces, it retails for $110 US. Now, this one is also speculative, not I feel as much as the Mediterranean Mirage, but if you remember Bath & Body Works Fairy Tale from a couple of years ago, I want to say Fairy Tale last came out in a winter collection maybe 2 years ago with Strawberry Snowflakes and Winterberry Wonder. That already kind of was compared to YSL Libre. People already thought it was a YSL Libre dupe. So I don't know if Free as a Flower is going to be even more so, or really if we had totally gotten Fairy Tale as YSL Libre completely wrong, but let's dive into the fragrance notes. So Free as Flower, wild orange flower, bright lavender, and creamy vetiver. Keynotes of YSL Libre, we have lavender, orange blossom, and musk accord. The fragrance description on this one, a bold floral perfume for women where French lavender essence combines with sensual Moroccan orange blossom and daring musk accords to create a unique, long-lasting perfume. Now, the Bath & Body Works Fairy Tale has notes of pomegranate nectar, fresh orange blossom, vanilla bean, and warm amber. So really looking at the fragrances side by side, I do think that Free as Flower compares much more to YSL Libre from a strictly scent note perspective than Fairy Tale does. Looking at those two fragrances, there's a match with the wild orange flower and orange blossom. The bright lavender matches with the fragrance description of French lavender essence, and then the creamy vetiver of the Free as the Flower. I think that might be matching to the daring musk accords, and kind of the fragrance being a bold fragrance. So I see the match there. As far as YSL Libre to Fairy Tale, besides the orange blossom, I'm not really seeing any matches with the pomegranate, the vanilla bean, or the warm amber. So I really do feel like Free as Flower could be closer to YSL Libre than that Fairy Tale, but I would say that's important to shout out there, especially if you do own the Fairy Tale. I don't want you to feel like you have to go and buy the Free as Flower as well, because you might have something that's already very similar. But you guys, that really wraps up the 3 new Everyday Luxuries collection coming to Bath & Body Works, really as a part of fall 2, I think, maybe leaning a bit into fall 3. It's interesting right now at Bath & Body Works, we're in a little bit of a dead zone. I feel like they really released everything all at once, and now we're kind of sitting on it until the next big things come. So I'm thinking personally we'll do maybe an Everyday Luxuries, maybe a signature scent, maybe a collaboration, and then we'll kind of start going down into Christmas. Christmas usually for Bath & Body Works starts around mid-October, kind of late October. So interested to see the transition until then. You guys, that wraps up this video. Again, this is an informative video. This is to notify about what's coming. Highly speculative information, but I wanted to get it out there in case you have coupons. You're kind of debating, oh, should I pick up something now? Should I wait a little bit? Really for awareness. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.